Alrighty. It seems like we got a good thing going so far. I'm looking forward to this episode in particular because I think there might be something in the formula that's missing. And what that could be, well, I'm pretty sure Densuo can explain that in full detail since he's been itching to talk about this particular topic. And on top of that, we got Real Cam. It's been a while since like the first episode, or first quote unquote episode that we've done, when it was just simply called Discussion Times. But now I feel that we can break apart the facade for a little bit before I actually choose to go back to that face rig thing again. I mean, I do enjoy being mashed, but hey. So, team dynamics. What is that in particular that we're going to be talking about? Basically, it is. How can I put this? Team dynamics are mostly the. I guess the best way to put it is. Hey, what's good, Densuo? I'm just gonna hop on the chat real quick. But team dynamics, I would say, is the chemistry that goes on in the heat of the match, and what things change and what things are influenced by certain decisions made by one or the other player. So, I guess if we can hash this out a little bit more, we might find a better way to describe what team dynamics are, and most importantly, why it's so important to keep in mind of that, because quite frankly, there's a harrowing amount of poor decisions being made, or I guess it's just lack of awareness or willingly becoming ignorant towards the win conditions of the game. So, without further ado, we're just gonna get to it. Yo, yo.
So what's up, bro?
Nothing much, and you?
I'm alright. Just got back from walking around outside for a bit. Volume okay? So people can hear us, etc.
Yeah, yeah. You sound pretty good to me. I don't know if anyone else is gonna be in the chat to kind of hang back some form of critique, but I guess it sounds good on my end.
All right, so let me just get this one piece out the way first. Then, all right, NA, y'all fucking suck, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, I ain't trying to say I'm fucking good or something like that. I'm trash too, but you know, admit you're trash is the first step to improving.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the problem. I'd rather play with a person who's not good, but is at least making some sort of attempt at team play,
Mm-hmm.
than a person who is good and is just off doing their own thing. Because, sure, that person's probably better than I am, but if I'm busy getting mauled, then it doesn't matter. You know, he can be great and he can be outplaying his opponent, but if I'm busy getting destroyed, then and we end up losing because I got destroyed, then it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I think the problem I'm having with the game right now, I mean, we have new players, and that's fine. That's great. That's a good thing.
Right.
And I'm still going to maintain that I'm still going to be welcoming to newer players. But we do have a problem. Okay, and that problem is that people don't pay attention. People are not paying attention to what's going on. Now, part of it is tunneling, and when it comes to tunneling, you know, I'm positive everybody's going to be able to say that, you know what, I'm guilty of that. You know, people tunnel. That's just how it is. Sometimes you get a little too focused on an opponent. Sometimes you're playing against somebody that you just really want to take down.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're too busy paying attention to what the Bale is doing to the point where you end up ignoring the Zaku gun that's backing him, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And the what ends up happening is people just don't pay attention, or people realize that when they die, they just come back in, or rather, they respawn,
Think they have
and
another chance.
they just no, not even they just go right back in.
Yeah, they think they have another chance at trying to take that person down
You
and
know,
try to run the same kind of
like
play.
let me put it this way: this isn't fucking Smash Brothers. Like we you're thinking in terms of stock, because it's not like team play in Smash Bros. Where if me and you are a team and I get kicked out, it's just one. It's just a 2-on-1. No, once the team, lives are shared. It's not team battle like in Smash where each player has 2 lives or something like that.
Right.
Once a team runs out of cost, we're done. The force gauge is depleted, we lose. GG. So I think people need to realize what's going on when you die. Now I think it was at least somewhat understandable in Full Boost, but there is no longer an excuse for that in Mbon, because in Mbon you can see your partner's health. So I think the first thing we need to talk about is, when it comes to team mechanics, is dying. I think that's the first thing we got to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Dying is okay for the most part, because that's what the force gauge is for. But you have to realize that once the team's first death happens, your strategy, your team strategy might have changed. So let's take an example. Let's take, for example, a standard. Let's go with a not even. Let's go with of the person. Let's go with a 3K 2.5, for example. Right.
Right.
So let's say you have on front, you have something like, let's say Turn X. Let me just go with that because I'm familiar with the suit.
Mm-hmm.
So Turn X is a front, but the Turn X can back if he has to. And then let's say for a partner, the partner is, let's say, Infinite Justice. So Infinite Justice is multi-role in my opinion. It can do both. It can play up front. It can play back. It's fine. It can do both.
Yeah.
It has the tools to do both. So normal circumstances dictate the 3K should be the one dying first. So Turn X goes down. And let's assume, for example, right now, that Infinite Justice is moderately healthy. Now, it would be stupid for the Turn X to come up and resume playing front completely under normal circumstances. I think. Because
Yeah.
I'm not trying to claim like I know everything about this game. I'm not some goddamn expert. But here's the thing: if the Turn X dies first, you know, of course, once the Turn X dies, Infinite Justice should back off and should not engage, because for, let's assume, about how much time is it when you die? You're basically out of the game for about a good 4 or 5 seconds,
Roughly.
right? I think about 4 or 5 seconds. I think it is right between when you die and when you can take another action.
Yep.
So here's the thing: you have 5 seconds when you let's just go with 5 seconds. Let's just assume. So it's about 5 seconds between the point of when you got killed and when your character spawns back in and you're able to take an action. But then we also have to take into account the amount of time it's going to take you in the event that you were given a crappy spawn, and let's say that your partner and the enemy team are basically across the map. So we just went from 5 seconds to possibly 10 seconds of where your partner is now, of when the back is alone and getting, jumped on.
Mm-hmm.
So you, as if your partner, if you're the back, right? Going back to what the example is, if you're the back, if you're Infinite Justice, and your partner got killed, you need to not engage. Unless the only way that I would say that of course, there's exceptions to the rule, But if, let's say, for example, if you are in a one-on-one, if you were if both players are separated from each other, and you were beating your opponent and you were completing a combo or whatever, then instead of going for a max damage, get the down, look at where the other guy is, and then continue to disengage. right?
Mm-hmm.
Your partner died. He calmed you properly, saying, "Hey, I got taken out." So you're in the middle of doing a combo. Cancel out of whatever the hell you were doing. Hit him with the backpack, which is it's an instant down. Land, recover your boost. Look at where the opponent's partner is. Disengage, because when you're focused on evasion, you're a lot harder to hit than you think. A lot of people think that when they're running away that they have to shoot back. But think about it. If you're boosting backwards, what's gonna happen? One, you're already receiving a negative boost penalty because you're boosting away.
Mm-hmm.
Two, you are going to auto veneer on everything that you do. Unless the weapon that you're firing is head Vulcans, in which case, why are you even firing them? Right?
Right.
So, unless you're like, and even if your suit has a safe back turn shot. Oh God, you have a spammer.
Yep.
There we go. Thank you.
That's sniped.
Thank you. So it's like even if you have a safe, well, I'm not gonna call it safe, but even if you have a back shot, like let's say for example, Grandpa Gundam's back shot, Versargo has a back shot, Reborn's in Gundam mode I believe has a back shot. Even if you have those, you're still veneering, and if you're veneering, and it's a 2v1, chances are one of them is going to hit you. So I think that's something that people need to realize. A lot of times, the partner dies. People keep fighting. They keep going in. And the thing is, one of the worst things to do in this game, at least in my opinion, is let's say, same example, turn next to Infinite Justice or team.
Right.
One of the worst things to happen in this game is for both of you to die. Turn X gets taken out, and then during that 5-second window, Infinite Justice goes down. Now, this is shitty, because Turn X is coming in, and sure, he's full strength, but now we have another problem. Infinite Justice is down for 5 seconds.
Yep.
The enemy team is going to be either repositioning or to either go in on the Turn X, who's wide open right now for a 2v1. They're going to wait and see where Infinite Justice spawns in and go for the kill. So now, when this happens, the enemy team is at an advantage because they're thinking, cool, who are we going to target? Whereas Turn X is thinking, crap, where is Infinite Justice going to spawn? And even then, at that point, even though Turn X is full strength, Infinite Justice is coming in with nothing.
Yep.
And he's going to be forced to basically backpedal the entire game. So, what does this mean? Even though Turn X is coming in with full strength, the enemy team isn't going to be as intimidated, because if they have a comfortable lead, or even a decent lead, they can still risk it.
Mm-hmm.
And they can still force you to react, as opposed to the 3K having that presence that the 3K is supposed to have because of tools, boost, etc., etc. They still have to go after the 2.5, and they finish him up. All they got to do is hit him once. And even though again there's a lot of moving parts, if we're assuming things went properly here, it's likely to say that Turn X may have his burst. Infinite Justice might have his burst at this point. But Infinite Justice is likely not going to have enough health to defensively burst. Because if a 2.5 comes in overcosted after a 3K died, they got like what, 120 health?
Yeah, rough. It depends on the max health.
Like around 120. Either way, a 3K is going to more than likely kill you in one hit.
Mm-hmm.
Anything outside of a BR is death. I'm not sure, shooting. Just about anything that hits with any decent damage is going to kill you. The typical subs is going to kill you. any of the hard hitting moves that the suit has, you're probably dead.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I think people need to understand. All right. Um, people need to slow the hell down. I get that the game is called Extreme Versus, emphasis on extreme.
Wait, don't have to rushing like an
But
idiot.
but you can't just always go in. All right, unless your name is Bale, and even then, Bale's Epions, any Epion, any Bale that knows what they're doing, they're not just mindlessly brushing you. All right, what they're actually doing is they're using the threat of them getting in on you to try to get you to panic and corner you, or to do something that isn't really going to hurt them, so that in the event of Bale, he armors through and then starts beating you up, taking you to the ladder combo.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I think people need to learn how to slow the hell down, and people need to take advantage of the time that they're dead and respawning in to switch the camera around, look at where the enemy is, look at your partner's health, realize where you are on the map, and then realize what's changed in order for you to win. Because when you're coming in, you can't get hurt. So you have plenty of time to look at the bottom left of your screen, see what your partner's health is. You're able to switch targets and look at what the health of your opponents are, and now you're going to know how the situation has changed. So instead of you just going in again like a moron, you need to go ahead and get back in formation for starters.
Mm-hmm.
If your teammate is getting jumped, then you need to be able to show up and say, "Hey, cool, get him off of him."
Yep.
But like, it's just the thing that's annoying me is a lot of times when I'm playing with people, they're just when they die, they just go in again.
Yeah.
And it's even worse when it's a 2K or a 2.5 dying before the 3K. Because here's the problem. You need to realize something. When the 2.5 or the 2K dies before the 3K, you're coming in at full health. The 3K is more than likely at about half health, probably less. So, how can I put this?
You're pretty much playing at a deficit where normally where
you are playing at a deficit. You are playing at a deficit
yeah.
now. Because the thing is, now you need to push harder. So now you need to push harder. And if you're playing on an all-around suit, that might be workable. But if you're playing on something like a Dynams, now we have a problem. Because if you're the Dynams, or if you're like a dedicated back suit, and you died first, you more than likely have cost the match.
Yep.
So it's like, here's what you need to, like, one thing that people need to do is, here's one thing I do when I back. I'm always looking at the left, because a lot of times people don't use comms.
Right.
One of the best things they did in this game is that they added your partner's health on the left side of the screen. So now that means that I don't care if my partner's comms or not, because usually people just comm their health. Most people don't really use comms to indicate, hey, they're coming after you, or giving orders like, hey, withdraw, I'll cover you, or I'll go ahead, or the extra comms, excuse me.
More the specialized stuff.
People more often than not, they're just gonna comm what their health is, and if that's the case, I don't really care, because I can look at the health on the side. And I get it. People do say that you should comm when you die, because it can be a good reminder, especially when the text is specifically red. But honestly, you have plenty of information to tell you that the partner is dead. Your navigator can tell you the force gauge is going to clearly deplete. You're going to see a cut in of your character. You're going to see a cut in of your suit's pilot. As a notification that, hey, your partner died. Mm-hmm. You're going to have plenty of notifications.
Yeah, it goes out of its way in order to tell you something happened.
So, let's be real. All right, let's be real. Now, let's see. So here's the thing, right? Here's the other thing. What do you need to do as a back player? Right? What do you need to do as a back player?
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you another example. So it's me and Blue playing together. Blue's playing up front, and I'm backing. Blue, being as garbage as he is getting his ass kicked because he sucks. Because he sucks. Let me stop being stupid. Let me be serious.
All
Because
right.
this is a point of irritation. This is a point of irritation for me. So let's just say that unfortunately the match is not going our way, right?
Right.
Blue has had one or two bad exchanges, maybe. Maybe we're just getting outplayed, whatever the case may be. However, let's assume that I'm moderately healthy. I'm about half health, maybe about 65, anywhere from 50 to 70% health. Blue is getting close to dying, right? So here's the thing. I'm going to give you a bunch of examples that you can look into when it comes to this, right?
Right.
We're going to go over all these examples, and we're going to go over what you as the back should do. Blue as the front is about to die. He's close to dying. I would run away. I will typically calm my partner with I'm withdrawing because I can tell that my partner is about to die. So when that happens, I use I'm withdrawing to basically let my partner know, look, just die. That's basically me telling you, just die. Because at that point, I've pulled away from my partner, basically putting him in a 2v1 situation where he's guaranteed to die at that point.
Right.
And personally, I think that's okay. Now, of course, if I'm able to get a quick little punish on top of it, sure, why not? But if I know that he's going to die, let him die. Because the worst thing that can happen is this. Blue gets, I'm going to give you the reason why I think it's a good thing to do this. At least at my level of play. Because again, I'm not a top level player. This is something that I would recommend weaker players like myself or beginners to do. If your partner is the front, is the 3K, and he is about to die, abandon him. Let him die. Because if you let him die, right, usually once somebody dies, the enemy team, you're going to think, once you kill the opponent, the first you're going to think is, cool, where's his buddy? Let's go get his buddy. Am I wrong?
No.
Am I wrong, Blue?
Nope.
Usually,
right.
once you get a kill, you're gonna look for the other guy because you're gonna automatically lock onto the partner anyway.
Right.
So that's an opportunity because you're gonna go and see if you have an opportunity to press them. If the partner was close to him, then you have an instant 2v1 situation there, and God help him if he gets killed because now if you end up getting a double kill there, now you're even better because now when the other player spawns in, he doesn't have the option of rushing in to help his teammate. The only thing he can do now is immediately spawn in. Crap, I have to run away now and wait for my partner to spawn. Now he has to play a guessing game. Right? Now this is the big negative. If you die within the time frame of your front dying, you're wasting your front's power on his second life. And you're putting yourself in a situation where you died, you're coming in overcosted. What happens if you get one of those patented crappy respawns and you get spawned where you're closer to the enemy than your front? Your front will not be able to save you. I guarantee you, the enemy team, if they have their burst available, they're both going to converge on you. They're going to force you to move. Then when you run out of boost, this is what's going to happen. They're going to pop their burst. They're going to kill you. Or you're going to pop your burst defensively, meaning you're not going to be able to do anything with it offensively, in a last-ditch effort to get away. You burned your burst defensively. Cool. Now they're going to just pop theirs and kill you.
Yep.
What's your front going to do? He's out of position. He can't do anything to help you. Game over.
Especially if you're too far.
Exactly. So, again, the best thing to do, run away. If your partner is low, tell them, look, I'm withdrawing. That's going to be the telltale sign for the partner to just say, cool, go in, maybe see if they can blow some, put in some last second damage. They die, they come back full health. Your enemy's going to notice that, hey, you know what, this guy's too far away. There's literally no point in them coming after you. Because if you run away, you're across the map. What's the point of them coming after you? Mm-hmm. As long as you didn't corner yourself and they don't have like some sort of crazy movement option, there's no point in them chasing you. Next thing you know, your partner spawns in, he's full health. Your main goal is going to be, okay, cool, let's get back information, let's go from there. So that prevents you from taking unnecessary damage, and this is like a bit of a reset, if you will, because now your partner came back, he's full health. Now you see where your health is. Now you can see, okay, cool, this is what we're going to do. So, TLDR, stop fucking going in. If your partner's about to die, let him die. That is not you being a poor teammate. That is you letting him die and basically saying, okay, let's start over, round 2.
Yep. Because the last thing you want. Oh, you go ahead.
Because here's the other thing, right? This is going to lead to my second example. So same deal. Blues up front, I'm the back. Now, let's say this is something of a close match, right? Both sides, we're all still in our first lives, and everyone's taking a bit of a beating, right? Let's say everybody's in yellow to red health. Odds are, everybody probably has a half burst ready at this point. This is another instance where if you are a weaker player, I would run away. Hang on a second.
Okay. Audio's very distorted. Let me see if I can mess around.
No, que te van a dar.
¿Me van a dar eso? 2.84.
264, sí.
Pues está bueno, mejor.
Also, what's good, boys? Let me see. I just messed around with the noise gate settings, but
Just want to let you guys know that on the audio is very distorted.
okay, I'll mess around with that. Just gonna mess around with the
Just thought I'd let you know.
Okay.
Fun.
Thanks. Let's see.
Mm-hmm. All right, sorry about that. So, let me start over. So, same deal as before, right?
Right.
The Blues up front, I'm the back. In this situation, the match is close, right? Mm-hmm. So everybody's at about yellow to red health. You as the weaker player, like let's assume that I'm the weak player here. I suck. I mean, it's not really assuming because I do, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Now, so I suck. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play it safe. Same deal. I'm going to withdraw. I'm going to pull away. Blue dies, he comes back at full health. But because I ran away, same deal as before, they're not going to be able to reach me. So, best case scenario, right? Blue dies. He comes back at full health. I'm playing defensively and I'm running away. A best case scenario here is the enemy blows their burst to try to come at me. Right? Because they just killed blue. They're hyped because they're aware that I'm weak. They can come at me. This is where a defensive burst would save you because you're bursting second. They're bursting to come after you and you're still evading. Next thing you know, then you pop your burst. You recover your boost. They're overextending, trying to get you. You're not retaliating. You're just moving, getting away. Blue, I'm just focused on getting away. Blue spawned in. These guys overextended. He gets the punish. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario is I go in with blue. I get killed first. He dies. Now we're overcosted. And even if they're still weak, and we can still, even though there's still a chance to turn it around, the win condition has changed. Right. Now the win condition has changed. Now the win condition is we have to get the overcost also, as opposed to if blue died first because I pulled away. I'm low, sure, but I can still play defensively and I can still die. The other enemy team, they still have to pay attention. They still have to be careful because Blue died first. Blue's back at full health. But now, since the enemy is both weak and I'm also weak, sure, they can try to focus me. But if they're both focusing me, then that means that they're ignoring the full strength 3K. And that may make it easier for them to get overcosted instead. So even if in this situation, let's say they do end up getting me, cool, I'm dead. Blue gets the back suit. I'm spawning in. The enemy back is coming in at full health. But now we have a 3K at full health, a back suit that can play defensive, while the enemy has a back suit that has to play up front, and a 3K that now pretty much has next to no presence now because he's coming in with no health. The win condition has changed. I'm not saying that you're guaranteed to win, but a 3K at full health is a lot better than a 3K running on. So you gotta look at it and look at it as when is it good to run away, and when it is a good situation for you to go in. You know, I'm not saying that you should always run away, but there are times where you pulling back and letting your partner die first, especially if they're the 3K, because they should be dying first anyway. More often than not, if you let the 3K die first, more often than not, that's a better situation for your team to win. Because the 3K has the boost, has the tools to force the damage. You know, the 2.5s, I'm sure a lot of people have noticed is when you play certain suits, you run out of boost a lot faster than you think. All right. Especially when you're getting pressured by a strong 3K. So don't get ahead of yourselves. It's okay to pull back. It's okay to
kind of reconvene a little bit so you can get back into formation and just run it back with better pressure.
Yeah, because like I said, if you just keep going in and you're not taking into account what's happening, you're setting yourself up for failure. And you're going to basically not give yourself a chance to win. So I think that that's one thing that people need to really look at. Sometimes it's okay to slow down. You know? Because if you don't, you're just going to basically get yourself killed. And that's just going to basically frustrate you or your partner. You know, for me, like I said, me recently, that's what's been really pissing me off. Like, a lot of people, they just die, they just keep going in. When you die, take advantage of that time frame to look at the situation and check the win conditions. Don't just think, okay, cool, I'm back at full health, time to go in.
Yeah, it's a quick point to breathe.
Like here's the thing too. Even though people say that shuffle is not as good to get better as free teams, I disagree with that. When you play in shuffle, you're going to see a lot of different playstyles, right? The only difference, in my opinion, is that when you're playing in set teams, you're going to have a partner that you're going to be playing a couple of rounds with, consecutively. So you'll be able to get a feel for that person's playstyle. But when it comes to shuffle, there's nothing stopping you from playing with a partner and immediately realizing what this person's playstyle is. You can look at that person's suit and say, okay, cool, this guy's going to be playing mainly on fundamentals. This guy's going to go in, Or if you got a guy who's playing X, okay, yeah, this guy's a moron, but
I mean, that's usually the case 9 times out of 10, with the eradication of.
Let me stop. I play sets in the suit. I play sets in the suits also.
Yeah.
Everyone's a set. Let's stop lying. Everybody's a set.
Yeah.
Everybody plays at least one set in the suit. Anybody who says no is probably lying. But yeah, like I said, I was pissed off yesterday. I thought I was just going to go on a tirade today, but honestly, I think my main complaint about all of this is slow down and look at what the hell is happening.
Okay, gotta confess.
I mean, some people play that. Like, I don't mind if I'm playing with a person who knows what they're doing. Like, if I have an X1 and they want to take the lives and I'm on turn X, sure, go ahead. But at least tell me. Don't just go in like a moron or do your own thing. That's the other thing. This is the other problem I have too. If you're a new player, play a team suit. Don't fucking play X1 custom. Don't play X1 Kai. All right? Don't play X1 Kai. X1 Kai is a one-on-one suit. Okay? If you're new to this game, you're banned from playing X1. This game is not 1v1. Okay, this game was never intended for 1v1. But Densuo, they had 1v1 now in the game. Yeah, but do you gain rating points for that? No, you don't. Is there
Thank
rank for
God.
it? No, there isn't.
Thank
It's
God.
not. It's they just put it in there. Honestly, they put it in there to tell y'all to shut the hell up.
Pretty much.
They just put it in there. They put it in there to put it in there. If you are new to this game, if you like X1 because you like Crossbone, that's great. You have shitty taste, but okay. Fuck Crossbone. Let me stop. But no, seriously. If you like the suit because you genuinely like the suit, hey, by all means, don't let me stop you. But what I'm saying is, I don't think it's a good idea to play a 1v1 focus suit. In my opinion, X1 is a bully suit. X1 is a 1v1 suit.
Yeah.
And I don't think you should be playing that. Because this game, first and foremost, is a team game. Now, you can go for the isolation. Like, if you know you're better than the opponents, then by all means, go for it. Isolate and destroy them. But the game is first and foremost a team game. And I don't feel that X1 Custom is a good team player.
Yeah, it's also another thing that Fox had mentioned too. You don't want to go with like a suit that's a specialist either. Anything that kind of focuses on just one specific playstyle and has no flexibility whatsoever. So
I mean, I don't think. I mean, for a beginner, I don't think so. I mean, maybe not. I mean, sure. I mean, I think Excelia and Zaku Gunner are fine for beginners because when both of them have the one-hit down shots, so you can use those and then focus on moving away. You know, I think defensive suits are fine, but I think if you have suits that are like that are hard backs, I think hard backs are okay. But it has to have. I think it's only if it's like Zaku Gunner or Excelia because those are derp suits. Those are easy.
Mm-hmm. But maybe you want to learn something that has a little bit more mobility to kind of compensate for, say, if you're not good with landing shots, you want to be able to at least reposition properly.
That's fine. I just think, but the other reason too why I think it's good to play Zaku Gunner and Excelia is because since they have those one-shot downs, that kind of helps you slow down in a way. Mm-hmm. Because okay, I'm moving around. Okay, he's open. Hit him. Oh, this guy's out of position and attacking my partner. Hit him. Cool. I got him down. Okay, cool. Let me land. Let me reposition. So it's very basic in a way, and like that it prevents you from tunneling because you're basically okay, cool. Let me hit him with the down. All right, let me move.
Mm-hmm.
But like I think above all, guys, please slow down. Like new players aren't thinking about position, and I agree with that. But here's the thing: I think position comes naturally with experience. The first thing that you should realize is who in your team dies first. Hint, hint, it's the one with the bigger number, the 3K. That's the first thing you need to realize. The 3K should die first. Are you both close to dying? I should leave and let my partner die. That I don't feel. Correct me if I'm wrong, Foxside. Correct me if I'm wrong, Vroom Vroom Sword. You too, Blue Shift. You know, I'm not, because again, I'm not trying to act like I'm some god in this game. I'm trash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I'm competent at my best. Maybe. But I think the first thing the player needs to learn in this game is who dies first, and it's okay to let your partner it's okay to let the 3K get killed when they're low. Just calm them, you know? Just calm them and tell them, I'm withdrawing. AKA, go die. It's okay.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what Riddler said, I think back in the fronting episode, that it is the responsibility for the front to pretty much go in and do as much damage as they can in their first life and then die as quickly as possible. Because you can never tell what exactly is going to happen next if all of a sudden their attention shifts to the back player and then you're stuck in a position where you're going to have to play double time.
That's kind of the problem I'm having with Turn X, honestly, because part of it is my fault, even if I am getting upset and telling people, "Hey, let your friend die first." But the thing is, I like playing at a slower pace.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so if I have a partner that's able to just spam crap with me, you know, as long as we're doing well, and I realize, okay, cool, we're doing good. Let's just poke. Let's just keep poking. You know, it's like if we're fighting, let's say for example, a Penelope. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. CSB is an amazing fastball, but ultimately, I would have preferred it if they kept it like it is in Gundam Versus, where it's back sub to do the Garobi, and then regular sub to have the bazooka. I would have preferred if they kept it that way.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that my problem here's my problem. My problem is because I'm so well bazooka. Well, the thing about bazooka is you can fast fall that you can use it to fast fall a main, even when it's out of ammo. So it's amazing, right? But the thing is, the Garobi isn't a fastball. So when you switch out to the Garobi, you're losing out on your fastball, which is horrible. That's the reason why I don't like having to use CSB to switch. It's also awkward because I like using BC to move around a lot also. So it's just really really awkward. If you get the hang of it, you can get them all the free falls out of it, but it's just a hassle.
Yeah.
But back on topic, let me not go into a tangent on Twitter X. My thing is this: since I'm a defensive minded player, what ends up happening with me is that I'm basically just poking and not committing. So I'm just main sub, you know, funnels, a bloody siege, etc., and I'm just poking them away. So what happens is I'm just basically poking at them and poking at them and poking at them. But because I get partners that just want to go in, and they're not realizing, hey, we're ahead. Let's just keep poking them. You know, it's like if I'm playing turn X and you have, let's say, like Phantom or something, and we're just keeping them away from us. You don't have to do anything. Why are you going to go in when you have turn X and, let's say, Zaku Gunner against, let's say, a Penelope and a freaking Nobel?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you going to go in? Why are you going to go in and put yourself at risk of getting caught by Nobel? You know, sure, Penelope is going to be able to outgun me at turn X, but he's going to have to compete with what Zaku Gunner can put out with her assists, her one hit downs to keep Nobel at bay, etc., etc. So it's like people need to realize it's okay to slow down, but it's also my fault because if things aren't going well and we're starting to get low in health, then that's when I need to say, you know what, let me stop poking so much. Let me commit and go in a little bit because at least that way, once I die, I come back in and I'm not gonna be overcosted. You know, so that's on me too. But I think people need to realize, let your partner die, or let the front die first. It's okay if you abandon your partner so they can die first when they're low on health. Like, please realize who needs to die first. Your 3K is the first one.
Yep. Yeah, death order is definitely the most important thing to keep in mind, especially if you're starting out, and even at like higher level play. You can, if you're playing a very focused composition where you have a set game plan and you and your partner can work out something in the events where things don't go right or go as planned as what you expected it to be, then yeah, you could just kind of mess around with that, see what kind of order works best. Because in more experienced compositions, you'll see people go with like Bakudan strategies, or just letting the lower costs have like all the lives while you just keep playing a back position, or just do enough interference to be the one being 2v1'd and they don't know that they're going to get hit from behind or from something else. But it's all about keeping that nice little. It's a bit of sweet science, if we're borrowing a boxing term. It's just keeping that rhythm and keeping that range and momentum where you always, no matter what happens, even if you get knocked down, there's always some way to get that momentum back instantaneously. So,
Like I think you know what's the other thing too. Let me ask you guys something. this. Let me ask you guys this, because I think this is also going to be a little controversial, and that's because unfortunately, some people are assholes. I'm glad that this game doesn't have custom comms because some people are dipshits.
Yeah.
I have sent some people messages on PSN, none of them negative, not at all, where I've asked, hey, are you a new player? And then I'll give them a few pointers and say, hey, look, slow down, blah, blah, blah. Try this suit. Hey, you did good with this, et cetera, et cetera. I'll try to give positive feedback to a player if I think they're new. But of course, even then, when I ask them, hey, are you new or whatever, I also make it a point to say, hey, look, I want to be clear. I'm not trying to talk down to you or anything like that. I hope you're enjoying the game, yada, yada, yada. But I think it's kind of dumb that this game doesn't enable, let's say, for example, if we're in a shuffle room, right?
Mm-hmm.
And me and Foxeye end up teaming up. It's kind of unfortunate that it doesn't let us. I think it's unfortunate that it doesn't let us go straight into a chat. That it doesn't let us go into a chat with our partner, because I feel like if that were the case, then we'd be able to go ahead and say, "Hey, cool, look, let's do this and let's talk."
Yeah.
Hey, it's GNX Demon. Hey, what's up, Alan? That's my cousin. Ignore him. Honestly, Alan, since you did say that, I am. Yes, good thing we have Discord for that, but I'm also talking about playing with randoms.
Yeah, in game.
I think because the thing is, some people they don't want to join Discords, and I get it. And granted, I would go ahead and say, you know what, guys, if you are a beginner, please join the Discord. There's groups that are there are groups out there, like I think it's Extreme Evolution is one of them.
Yep, Extreme Evolution, New Type Academy.
New Type Academy is another one. There's Discords out there that are actively saying, hey guys, please come to us. We want you to get better.
Yeah, doors are open.
I want you to understand something. That's not some sort of gatekeeping shit. That's not some sort of thing that's going to make you that's going to be, oh, this is hardcore only. There's people out there that are well intentioned. What I'm saying here, even though this is seasoned with plenty of salt,
kosher salt,
I can assure you I'm not being negative about it. Like everything I'm saying here, when like I said before, hey, look, y'all are trash, blah blah blah. What did I say? Look, I'm trash too. But my thing is, I honestly want people to improve, because this game's been out long enough, and honestly, I just want NA to get better as a whole. And these are really simple mistakes that
There we go. Just wanted to go ahead and just reconnect real quick. Sorry about that. Wanted to just refresh my connection. But yeah, just please slow down. Looks like Blue had to take a phone call, so let's just give him a minute to get back. I actually do play Quanta, by the way, Gene. That was actually my first 3K in EX Versus. But that was actually more when I went in like a maniac, so I kind of got to relearn that, and I think I'm gonna pick the shoot back up because I do need to. Be more forceful when I'm playing front. I do need to be a little more aggressive, and I kind of do like how Zabanya is basically what's neutral. I'm going in. Let's see. What was Foxside saying? Turn X just seems odd to play because of CSB. The swap to a Vernier. Garo sucks. Well, the thing about that Garo too, since touching on that real quick while we wait for Blue to get back, it actually has a really good start. That's a really really fast startup. The only thing that sucks about it is that it doesn't really have much correction, and it's also telegraphed to the opponent because when you have the Garo, when you swap to the Garo, the gun that Turn X is holding, you'll see it arcing and sparking. So the enemy will know, oh, he doesn't have his bazooka up, so he's not going to have his fastfall. So that's kind of that's like another room. That's another negative for it. I mean, at least for Wing Zero TV, I guess that's okay because that move is hella powerful on that suit. But like, there's a difference between he has a strong move available as opposed to this guy doesn't have one of his best defensive options available. That's something that strikes me as stupid. Like, at least like in Gundam Versus, for example, if you had most recently used the Garo, then that weapon will be displayed. But then once you go back to main sub fastball, it's just gonna swap back to the bazooka weapon being out. It is what it is. What can you do? Did the chat stop updating on my end? What's going on? Weird. Let me just check on real quick. This is odd. Looks like I disconnected from the chat. Oh well, it's okay. My Nightingale's poverty. Didn't Nightingale get nerfed between? Oh no, I don't think it was that. I think it's just that Nightingale was just really really good in Gundam Versus.
Yeah, he was. Look, I'm just gonna be away from the keyboard for a little bit, so you're gonna be handling the show from here on out.
Gonna be flying solo for a bit. You okay?
Yeah, just gonna take care of something with my dad.
All right, no problem, bro. Hope everything goes good. Just let me know if anything, bro.
All right, I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn. So I'm trying to think of another example about another thing where you have to make a decision. But I'm kind of drawing a blank actually. Yeah, it did. I'm trying to think of another situation where a teammate making a decision is important. But that's really the only one that comes to my mind. The one about letting your partner die first, because that's pretty much its most basic. Let's see. The thing is, when they overcause their partner, they get the mindset of I have to rush and do something. When you are still the back in that case, depending on 3K's HP, I think that's a good point. I think that is a good point. Very very good point. Sometimes yes, the roles change and you do have to upfront. But like even then, if you did get killed early, but your front is still healthy, you're fine. You can still fight normally, especially if your front was still moderately healthy. Because that's happened to me sometimes where I'm playing turn X and I'm just like really elusive and they just can't hit me. And then either my partner eventually gets killed, or the enemy says, "Okay, screw this guy. Let's just double lock this jerk," and then he gets killed. But the thing is, when he gets double locked and he gets killed, I'm still landing some damage. I'm still landing some punishes. So my partner comes back. He's at full health, and I'm still 75% or more in health. Let's just go back to doing what we were doing. Let's just keep poking. Rolls won't change unless the front goes below 200. Yeah. I think that's something. Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. That was something that was in the back of my mind that I just couldn't really think of how to explain it. Thank you so much. Lem, my favorite team mechanic, going in as the 1.5. It's funny. I actually really had that drilled into my face the hard way when I first started playing Mbon. Because when I started playing the game, I foolishly started by playing Alex because Alex is my favorite suit. It worked out because hey, it's a 1K. You can just die like a maniac and it's fine. But that 1.5 changed. It's like they basically say, nah, bro, it doesn't fly. But I do like that because I have Shoham, and if I have a 2.5K, if I play properly, then we can get it to the point where I can stay alive, get a second Chobam, and that basically means my 2.5 gets to die first. And if it's a 1.5, 2.5 composition, if the 2.5 dies first, then they're coming back at full health instead of the guaranteed overcost if I die first. Yep. You play. So I'm assuming you play Legal then. With that, what you just said. Let me think. Damn. Let me think. Let me think. You know, yeah, Legal's hard. Dog shoot's hard. Yeah, I'm actually pretty bad with runners, but I do like. But I say that, but I like playing Dragon, and also because of a meme that I saw, I actually run Dragon with. I run Dragon Gundam with Shooting Burst now, and I will go ahead and say that Shooting Burst is Dragon Gundam's best burst. use that shooting burst, and then just spam flags. They can't go anywhere. It's actually pretty funny when you do that. Let me think. What's another situation where people got to stop and think? Ah, bursting. So, what do you guys consider a bad time to burst? With the not including the most obvious of I'm going to burst from full screen. When do you guys think what do you think is a bad time to burst? I like the answer Lem just mentioned. You think it's bad to be the first one to burst? Why is that? I can go. I can understand that. When you get the me too, me too, me too burst thing happening, that's pretty. Those are pretty funny. Those are definitely. That's definitely funny when that happens. Um, for me, I think it's okay to burst first. I think if I burst first and I force the enemy to burst defensively, I think I would rather use a burst offensively than defensively, where they're overheating and I use my burst to force them to burst, and then I'm in a position where I can outplay them. I think that's a positive. But that's also, especially if you force them to burst defensively and they're low HP, like Vroom Vroom just said, where you made them take a chance, then that's just a huge payoff because you popped your burst, you got the kill, they popped their burst, and because they died, they lost their burst immediately. So that right there, that's just like top tier. Now, what would you say? Hey, Greenboar. I'm really sorry about that. Looks like Blue had to take care of something with his father, so he should be back shortly. From what he did tell me, everything's okay, but I am keeping an eye on my DM just in case. What would you guys would say is a good point to burst defensively? And I'm not talking about the obvious E burst to save you from something kind of thing, but I'm talking about when's a good time to burst with S or with shooting or fighting burst. Yeah, looks like that's one of the more obvious answers. So I think it's safe to say this: if you are within yellow to red health, you probably shouldn't be bursting. Would you guys say that's the general rule of thumb? If you're low on health and close to die, you probably shouldn't burst under normal circumstances, or for a weaker player, you probably shouldn't. Oh well, no, you're right. How much? What's the usual? What's the usual health number for being in yellow? Mm-hmm. I think the other thing too is when you're gonna burst, pay attention to where you are because I've had it happen a lot of times where I'm looking at my opponent and I burst, and then next thing you know, before I even get to do anything, I got hit in the back because my opponent was looking at me. So that's definitely a situation where you have to be careful because if you burst and you get hit, the enemy is more than likely going to go ahead and make sure they down you. And if it's a half burst, that's like almost half your burst time right there. Yeah, I think that's actually something I've been having a bit of a difficulty with, and that's also why I think you need to realize that sometimes you have to get hit because like if I'm playing turn X and I'm being elusive, that's another problem that I end up having because if I'm not getting hit but I'm dealing damage or whatever, remember you gain burst when you get hit too, so you should be getting hit. You should be taking some damage. I think it's a problem if you haven't been getting hit, and I think that's probably a part where it may be time uh, to start forcing the action a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's definitely something else to consider too, because it is a damage race, but burst is so powerful too.
Oh, I didn't know I have my mic on.
Yeah, you're over there grunting. What you doing, bro?
Just making some rice. So I might be hopping back and forth. Just
What kind of rice?
Jasmine rice.
Mm.
Yeah, just a little something so my dad could eat something new at least. So
I mean, why not just make steamed rice? It's easy.
he's a bit fickle at times when it comes to that.
Fair.
Yeah.
I did. Oh, speaking of that, I actually made fried rice for the first time the other day. Came out really good, actually.
Hey, nice. Oh, let me put the camera back on so if anyone knows that I'm gone for a moment, they won't suspect anything else. So what I miss?
So we were talking about when to burst. Another topic that we talked about was bursting. Um, and what will be when is like the worst times to burst, and things of that nature. Like if you scroll up on the chat, you'll see what I mean. We were talking about opportune times to burst because I think that's another important thing too. Because you can make plays, but it's also the fact that you got to know when to burst. You can't just burst blindly because if you get killed while you're in the middle of bursting, you're gonna lose your burst. You know, like if, for example, if let's say like you get knocked down when you half burst, a knockdown's probably half your burst timer right there.
Yeah.
And if you're on extend burst, it's, if I'm not mistaken, extend burst lasts the least of all of them, right?
What the fuck? Everyone's bursting.
So it's like if you end up bursting at the wrong time, you get knocked down. There goes your burst. Now what? And then same thing is like if you're low health, and you get blown up. Oops.
What? What happened?
Oh, what happened? Something wrong?
Oh, no. I thought something interrupted you.
Oh, no. But yeah, that's basically what we're talking about. We're talking about burst timer, when to burst. And another one that was kind of coming into one of my problems is that if I'm playing elusive and not getting hit, that can also be a problem because you need to get hit also in order to build burst.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm just basically being elusive and not getting hit, then I need to realize I'm not going to have any burst. I'm not going to have my burst available.
Right.
If, like, for example, like if my partner gets killed first and I didn't take any damage, I'm not going to have my burst ready. Hell, he might die again and I still won't have my burst. That's happened to me before too. Like, I literally went almost an entire match without getting hit because they just couldn't touch me. And sure, I'm outplaying them and I'm dealing some damage, but there you go. Yeah, that's the other thing. You got to make sure that you don't get hit either, because while you're in burst, getting hit is going to waste your burst time, but you're also not going to gain any burst from getting hit like you're supposed to.
Right.
EX versus 2, time to give other person your burst.
Okay. Anything else you wanted to kind of air out, or you think you probably covered quite enough?
Well, let's recap everything real quick, just in case we missed anything. So, for starters, if you're a weaker player, if you're the back, let your front die first. If your front is about to die, just start running away now. Let them know that you're withdrawing. They'll get trust me, the average player will get the hint, and that's okay. Number 2, and this is an important one that was brought up by Lem, Vroom, and Foxeye. Thank you for bringing this up. And that is, just because you die first as the back, right? Let's say it happens. Just because you died first, it doesn't mean that the roles have changed. If you got caught, if you got mauled, okay, it happens. But if you got mauled early and your front is still healthy, go back to your front and let him front. Because if your front is healthy and you died first, that doesn't mean that you have to go in like a maniac to make up for it, quote unquote. Just go back to your partner and stick with him. Go back to playing the normal front to back thing. Because even if you died first and he's guaranteed to come back overcosted, he's still healthy. You can still win this. When it comes to bursting, if you're a new player, please do not burst at red health. Odds are you're going to get killed. And if you get killed, you're not getting anything back. We also talked about... What else was it that we talked about? Yeah, that's pretty much the main things that we talked about. If your partner is going to die first, if your front's about to die, just run away, let him die. If you die first, but your front is healthy, stick to the plan. The role hasn't necessarily changed. Hey there, Artificial Soul. How are you today?
Okay, so
Let me think. We also talked about burst timings. You know, don't general rule of thumb: don't burst if you're like in red health. Pay attention to when you burst. Please pay attention to what you're bursting. But yeah, I think that covers. Oh, and also, if you're a new player, just join one of the discords. It's not gonna hurt. It's not gonna make you. It's not gonna make you some sort of. It doesn't. It's not gonna. If you want to play casual, even if you're a casual, just join one of the discords. Hook up, talk to people, make friends.
make rivals too.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything. Just don't act like an Exia player. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Oh no, that was the last one we gotta cover. We didn't cover this. We covered it slightly, but we're gonna go over it again. Gundam Extreme Versus is not a 1v1 game. Never was. It is a team game. The 1v1 function that was added to this game is a meme. There is no bragging rights to be earned. There is no points to be earned when you play 1v1. That's it. I mean,
You can play Exia, but just be mindful.
Yo. Alright, that's it. Yo, Blue.
Yeah.
Next week we're covering Exia.
Exia.
Next week we're covering Exia. Next week we're covering Exia. I don't care. We have somebody to talk about it. We're covering Exia next week.
I think we can bring Alter Ace or I think Alter Ace might be a good pick for that suit.
Yeah, I've been playing Exia. I already told you, Gene. If you want music that will help you play Exia with intelligence, set the following music for Exia. Play Super Monkey Likes Daddy. I guarantee you, Super Monkey Likes Daddy goes with every Setsuna suit. Guaranteed. The name of the song sounds weird. I know. But trust me, the Alex player is talking about intelligence. My Alex is better than every suit you play, Gene. I play Alex better than any suit you play. Yes, it's ironic. It has the word monkey, and it involves Exio.
Return to Monkey.
No, seriously, it's called
Return
Super
to
Monkey Likes Daddy. It's a remix of an Armored Core song. It was included in the CD that came. It was included in when Armored Core Nexus came out. That's when that one was reintroduced. The original version is just called. I think it's just called Monkey Likes Daddy. But yeah, bro, Alex is not an Ungabunga suit. I'm sorry, Alex is not an Ungabunga suit. Alex actually requires intelligence. What's wrong with you? But yeah, I'm telling you, Super Monkey Likes Daddy goes to every Exia suit. I guarantee it. And what's that link that Fox I put? Blue. What is it?
Let me see.
Because I'm looking at the stream through my PS4 while I'm chatting on my tablet.
Yeah, he just linked the song.
Oh, okay. I'm telling you, guys. I swear it works. It works. Honestly, it works.
The real Exia theme. What is this one?
Link me the one that Fox I put it, and link me the one that Vroom put. I need to see this too.
Oh, God.
I bet Vroom got jokes. I bet Vroom got jokes.
You're gonna love the one that Vroom put. I'll put in the Hangar.
Oh boy. I'm already looking forward to this.
This is Fox's, and this is Vroom.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Super Monkey Likes Daddy. It works. I promise you, it works.
It's bad.
Since Green Boy mentioned Street Fighter and Alex.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, he posted his yanks, dude.
Yeah. It makes sense for either Quanta or Quanta Full Saber.
Yo, That's it. Yo, we need to play this when we do the exit discussion next week. We gotta play this theme. We gotta play this.
We have to. I'll see if I can get Ace on board.
I can't front though. The Rajang theme is really good.
It is.
The Rajang theme is really good. The Rajang theme is a banger. I actually do. And side tangent about Monster Hunter. Great fucking game. I love Monster Hunter. But I think they did Rajang justice in Monster Hunter World.
Mm-hmm.
Especially how they made him basically beat the crap out of just about everybody, even if Nergigante kind of made him his bitch.
Nergigante is the new
the
chain checker.
He's the elder hunt. He's the elder dragon killer.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you look at his at their turf war, like Rajang rushes at him, and then Nergigante just casually bats him away. So Rajang has to go like rage mode to even like do anything with him.
Yep.
So it kind of looks like it's sort of kind of a draw, but it's more like, you know what, Nergigante's like, I don't really care about you.
Nah.
But but Rajang just completely owns the crap out of Kieran though.
Oh.
Time to throw my hat into the uh-oh.
Here we go.
Is that going to be part of the discussion? I think that's going to be part of the discussion next week also. We're going to be arguing about what music describes Exia, the memes involving Exia. Oh, God. This is going to be an interesting day.
It's the Silva Gunner version. Oh, boy. In fact, that's a funny thing we probably should have touched on a little bit earlier when we started this, but what themes would fit?
This motherfucker put... This guy put the goddamn DK rap. Did you really?
Yeah.
This dude actually put the... I hate you.
But back to what I was saying. What theme would probably be like the player's choice for that suit in particular?
What happened?
What would be like the theme of choice for the suit that they play? That would be like a little fun question to kind of throw in the hat.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Hold up, let me check on the rest real quick.
Uh-oh. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't believe my cousin's trying to call me out, telling me that playing Alex doesn't require intelligence. All the Wonder Pocket suits require actual intelligence. Well, maybe not Camper, but you know. Camper pretty unga bunga. Oh, and I'm calling it out. I'm calling it right now. The guest character for Smash Brothers should be the Monster Hunter. Don't at me.
Ugh. All right, I'm back.
Honestly, I don't even use the Chobham armor like that. I only use it to like bait people when they're trying to melee me, and then I flapjack them.
Yeah, it's parry pretty much. Yeah, it would mostly be treated as a parry pretty much. I'm so sorry for the background noise.
But EX Stomp, I'm nice. Ah, man. Oh, and since we also did mention fighting games here, anybody who thinks that grapplers suck, fuck you. If you don't play grapplers, you're trash. Don't at me. But I mean actual grapplers, not crap like El Forte.
Yeah, no hyper grapplers.
Hey, look, Lem. I'm gonna convince you now, okay? I'm going to convince you. I'm gonna convince you to join the Church of the Grappler. Imagine this: a grappler with a DP on a lariat command. How silly does that sound? You do a DP by doing a lariat command. Doesn't that sound awesome? Come on, you can't tell me that's not awesome. Yo, if you play Condor in Breakers or Breakers Revenge, my man got a DP on a lariat command. It's ridiculous. It's silly as hell.
Oh no, you mentioned the.
I have no
What
idea
did
what
you
Keontae
do?
is.
What did you do? Why'd you mention Keontae of all things? Now he's gonna keep talking about it ad nauseum.
What's Keontae?
What? Oh. What isn't Keontae? I guess the best way to, well, I'm pretty sure you know Densuo's at. You might as well talk to him about that in particular. What Keontae is.
Your volume just dropped, by the way, bro.
Yeah, my parents are talking in the background a little bit too loud, so I can't really.
Okay, no worries. Imagine a grappler with Devil's Reverse. That sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
A grappler with Devil's Reverse? That's awesome. Yes, please.
You don't understand, man. It's the most bullshit fighting game you've ever laid eyes on.
Yeah, do me a favor. Can you send me that on DM, Blue, so I can look it up later?
Sure.
Imagine if running bear grab with invincibility frames that covers 3-4. Yes, please give me that. I'll take it. Look, everybody who wants to learn fighting games needs to play grapple. Needs to learn how to play a grappler. I don't care. You can argue with me all you want on that one. Thanks, by the way, Blue. But I think we covered everything actually, right, Blue?
Yeah.
I think we covered just about everything. We covered early game. We covered early game team things, aka, stay in formation. Let the front die first. It's okay to run away. For mid game things, that would be like, for example, bursting before your first death. General rule of thumb: if you're a beginner, don't do it in red health.
Mm-hmm.
And then for late game, it's really it's more or less the same thing as the middle of the game, I guess you can say. Yeah, bursting properly and not going in recklessly. I hope you like simplified fighters with mechanics that are not simplified fighter at all.
Mm-hmm.
So Street Fighter 2, but with anime mechanics.
Oh, I am really sorry about that. When it gets crazy in the house, it gets crazy. I have a couple of cats. One was just darted across my mom's while she was sitting. But yeah.
What if Street Fighter had Roman cancels? What could be done in why Roman cancels? But it costs all the same. That sounds hilarious.
It is. My God.
What we need is, but we still need a new Armored Core, so, Tokyo Games have disappointed me. No Armored Core. Boo.
Yeah, I'm guessing saving that for, like, PS5
never.
Or something. Yeah, it's never gonna happen. Well, we can't give up hope, but we gotta be realistic, too.
Bro, I gave up on that.
Okay.
We have a better chance of getting a new F-Zero than a new fucking Armored Core.
Yep, I guess that explains.
Like I gave up on that. We'll probably see El Fuerte in a new Street Fighter game before we see F-Zero or Armored Core.
Yep. Hold up, let me see if I could pull up that tweet chain that I did. But it was basically. Hold up, let me see. Yeah, here we are. I don't know if this might work out as like a copy pasta of sorts, but I'll put it on stream right here now. And I'll read it too. E3 20. Let me. Well, I could probably just take a stab at it. Let's see what are people saying on the chat. E3 20XX. From Software appears from the shadows of the newest next-gen console to showcase their newest game. Cameras of another Souls-like game begin to cascade the audience and social media as the projector screens fades to black. Footsteps could be heard, fluorescent lights hum, and a shadowy figure approaches a vast darkness. Words start fading in slowly. When the day finally comes, we shall emerge from the calls of the shadows. No longer do we fear what our past has brought, but look towards the future. Rest assured, we will claim victory. The word victory persists on the screen as the shadowy figure stops. An extra-wide shot is set as the darkness slowly fades from the light. Light bathes what appears to be a hangar with a massive machine sitting in silence. The first letters of victory slowly turn. The first two letters of victory slowly turn red. All that remains are two letters now taking the shape of Roman numerals as the screen fades to black. In a torrent of emotion, a roar of applause and cheers erupt in the conference hall. Social media is stuck in disbelief, yet one thought crosses everyone's mind. It's back.
Oh, man. One of these days we'll get it, man. I mean, to be honest, I don't really expect them to do much about Mbon because it's really just a port and a cash grab. I mean, if anything, now that Crossburst was announced for arcade, maybe we'll see, maybe we'll see EX versus 2 for the PS5 sometime soon. So
yeah, probably in a couple more years.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I think we're good to go with this. And I think this is I don't know. I really do hope that newer players realize that it's okay to be bad at the game, but there's a difference at being weak in the game and being stupid.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that we talked about is really basic stuff. And I'm not saying it's basic stuff as in you're stupid, but basic stuff as in it's easy to overlook. When I'm saying stupid, I mean stupid as in simple mistakes.
Yeah.
Paying attention to what's a situation in a fight is really important. But I can understand why it's easy to forget these things because you already have, because the game does move at a fast pace. You have so much to worry about with your burst, your boost, your weapons, what your partner's doing, what the two enemies are doing, etc. Where you are on the map, etc., etc. So yeah, I get all of that, but you have enough time to slow down and think about things. Slow down, think more, do less. You'll be all right. Anyway, I'm gonna hop off because I am starving. Good talking to you guys, and please drop by next week because I think even though we're gonna take it seriously, I think the Xe discussion is gonna be like 95% memes anyway.
Memes. Yeah, it's gotta be nothing but memes. So
I'll go on ahead.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get to maybe Alter Ace. See if he might be.
No, Lem. No, absolutely not. No, that is a bannable offense. We do not want unpatched Night Gundam in either Mbon or if we ever get EX versus 2. Are you crazy? Once again, I'm asking for 3 lives.
Or unpatched Lightning Gundam, unpatched Try Burning,
No,
Narrative.
please, no. You know what they should do though? They should probably add like a mode where you get where all those suits are gonna be like all those suits like at their work, like at their absolute most broken, like full crazy like OP Strike Freedom.
Oh, right. Like Street Fighter
Like,
Omega.
yeah,
Or Rainbow
like
Edition.
OP Strike Freedom, Wing Zero TV with reloading Zero System. You know, unpatched Night Gundam. Just have the game be just have everybody just be ridiculous for no reason.
Yeah, that's absolute Kusoge right there. Right there. That's the
And
perfect
then,
recipe.
but even better, we forgot the most important thing to add.
Mm-hmm. Drives.
No,
What could be worse than drives?
everyone gets unpatched Kimara's Trooper Assist.
No. You want people to play DuckTales? The Moon Stage again?
Yes, we're gonna also add in unpatched Kimara's Trooper Assist. That's what we're gonna do. But we still gotta add the assist that I suggested though. We still gotta get X1 custom assist, which is X1 showing up to summon Tobia assist.
You have the Axe Battalion. I have to kind of clear that up. It's the Axe Battalion, not Pez Battalion. Pez Battalion actually fires things.
I just call it what it is. Yo, Tobia, you'll get this motherfucker. Yo, we should probably commission something like that. Have like an animated GIF of the Axe Battalion just zooming around on our screen.
Yeah, that sounds like
just running around. Just have Tobio just flying around being annoying.
Yeah, it has to be an MS Paint Axe Battalion too. It has to be that. That way, it just has to be. It has to be that. I'll see if I can find someone for that, or
yeah, that would be great.
Oh my god! But yeah,
I'm gonna be honest though. If they actually do bring back strikers in Crossburst, I'm probably gonna go silent. I'm gonna like hop off of social media for like a week or something, because I know a couple of people are probably gonna curse me out for that.
Yeah, I know Stretch is gonna come out and kill you with a vengeance. Stretch is gonna really come out with a vengeance. He will come out with angry eyes like Shin.
It's Gundam versus 2 in disguise. Oh god. Yo, that would be actually pretty messed up if they do that though. Just bring back unpatched Kimara's Trooper assist, and then what were the other really stupid assists? I think it was Gold Sumo. I think it was Kimara's Trooper. Was it X3?
The X3 Kamaris, the O when it was like on release, where it was unscaled proration, so you actually got a full combo off of it.
Everyone can free fall off the Kamaris. Stop.
We're committing war crimes here. We're breaking Geneva Conventions.
I already suggested a fix, bro. X1 assist is really just him showing up to summon packs with Axe Battalion for you.
Yeah!
And then, you know, like I said, it's like, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we've had that in a fighting game before. Because remember, when you call Sabretooth assist in Marvel vs. Capcom 2, he shows up and he calls his bodyguard to shoot for him.
Birdie!
Yeah, she just shows up and just pew pew pew. I actually used, jokes aside, I actually did use the GOG assist for that. The GOG assist was actually a pretty decent self-defense assist. In Gundam Versus, the GOG assist was a shotgun blast. It was actually really good.
Yep.
Like, it wasn't as huge as, like,
Busters?
the one that the O does, or Sasabi, but it was actually pretty good. The GOG assist wasn't that bad.
Yeah, and you're also on the hover truck assist camp, too.
Yeah, I actually did like using hover truck because you get so many calls, and you can actually use it in close range to be annoying. You can use it and then pop burst and reload them and do it again. It's actually kind of annoying. But even though I liked a couple of the assists, I would prefer if they did not bring back strikers. If I'm being completely serious,
Strikers, boost
because
dive. No.
the only actually I would be okay with strikers with only one exception, or rather, but one condition has to be met. If you're gonna add strikers, every single striker should be good. Okay, because it's not like Marvel vs. Capcom where everybody had like 3 different assists and some characters just had no assists that were good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't waste time, don't waste development costs, don't waste development resources making assists that no one's going to use. You know, that's really the main complaint I have with strikers, that a lot of them do just weren't good, and the ones that were good were abusable. You know, that was really the only. I think I'm actually curious, since we're on that topic now. Even though we're kind of on a tangent now, we're just kind of just free talking now. But
Mm-hmm.
what do you think was worse? The fact that there was more bad assists, or that the good assists were abusable?
Definitely more bad assists because it just bloated everything else.
Yeah.
Make every striker bad.
Make every striker bad. Well, here the other reason why I didn't like strikers is actually brings me up the other thing. With the exception of Tierras and Taozi, I don't remember any other suit having an assist. So everybody who had assists lost them, and instead it was relegated to the striker system. I really didn't like that.
No.
Like, I think it's kind of cool that certain suits have assists, and I kind of like the idea at first where, hey, this will let your suit that doesn't have a striker have an assist now. Okay, cool, but
And I think there was like one suit that legit had a fast fall in GVS, but no one really picked it up on unless it was like a complete joke or they were actually specialists. The Roselle command type.
Yeah.
And judging by that reaction, yep. Yeah, the Barada. Most of his game plan was revolving around that puppet alone. Just like in the show. Mask always relied on Barada in order to do everything. There was not one episode where he did not command Barada to do anything on the field. I'm pretty sure it's like some sort of compilation of that. And if not, someone will make it. Especially with the theatrical versions of Rekkengisen G already being out. I think the last part should be coming on November too. I don't know. But I know like part 1 and part 2 is out.
Okay, and then here's the other question then.
Okay.
If one of the mechanics from Gundam Versus was coming back, what would you prefer? Strikers or boost dive? Or the one the one I actually liked, when you burst, you give your partner a bit of a buff.
That burst system I liked that the most, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that also what led to the linkage burst in EXVS 2, but having that kind of team support mechanic is really nice.
Yeah, that was actually, jokes aside, that was actually my favorite thing. I did like the fact that when you burst, you gave your partner something a little bit of a buff. That was kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of made it a little better. I think it kind of even gave you some validity to. I think it kind of made it easier, I guess you can say, or excuse me. I guess it widened the scope of a good burst. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for example, normally you don't want to burst from full screen. We know because you're not gonna do anything. But if you burst and you give I think you gave your partner some boost back when you did that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you doing that to give them some boost, it could be worth it.
Yeah, I think it was boost and redlock range to some degree. The lightning had a full reload. Blaze had a full boost recovery for the main suit, and I guess a certain percentage for the partner. But here's one thing I also kind of found funny. I guess that might be for like a GVS retrospective episode further down the line. But
Yeah,
they made it. They wanted to be a beginner's game, but they didn't add like something similar to extend burst, which is quite funny to me. They probably could have patched it in too, but like some sort of big update. But that's the one thing that really skips my mind. I've already had the name in mind for it too, Gale Burst.
yeah.
But I guess that wasn't really what they had in mind. They just want to be a little bit more on the simple side of having 2 bursts is just manageable enough. That should be part and parcel of what you're expecting.
All right. I just want the Gundam versus exclusive suits and M-Bond, man. Which ones were they again?
Well,
I don't remember.
There's been quite a lot of them, but there's like suits from Missing Link, like Pale Rider, Slave Wraith, Vincent's High Mobility Gilgoog, the GM White Dingo, the GM2 Sniper White Dingo. There's also
there was a couple of grunt suits. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, there's also the Zeonic Front stuff, like the Zaku 1 Commander type and Mudrock, which was sadly terrible.
I think the gimmick they gave it was a bad idea. Where if you hit it from behind, it takes more damage. That was stupid. That was like an unnecessary disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like it also in the way that the game works, it worked against it because you couldn't hit anybody. Everybody's just constantly step diving, so you're not going to land a clean hit anyway. You're going to be playing so up close in a playstyle that, frankly, is not really suitable for Mudrock anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas, like the Zaku 1 Commander type, the only thing that really messed him up was the fact that his weapons were treated the same way as Goof Customs, where you have to burst in order to keep them. So you're pretty much forced to play so far up close that you're always in harm's way.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what other GVS exclusive suits were there? There's also Methys, Nemo.
Nemo was okay.
Yeah, Nemo's okay. I'm pretty sure a good bulk of them.
So much.
Yeah, a good bulk of the GVS exclusive suits might be like put on to EXVS 2 in the way that they've always done it with like Virtue, Aegis, and
please don't bring back Virtue.
Oh boy, pre-nerf Virtue was absolutely stupid. Like actually stupid. His not Hyper Mega Can. His GM Bazooka was abnormally fast when it came out. It tracked pretty well. It did a lot of damage. GM Field was a lot slower in terms of its tick down time. So you had a lot more time to kind of bully people and protect yourself. There was no reason to play Nautilus whatsoever. And I think if you did try to use Nautilus, there's the one thing I have like a huge gripe about is his trial system stun, where it's absolutely hard to see what kind of range you have because it's absolutely clear. It's a rainbow effect. There's no sphere or anything. So while it may look like you're being deceptive, you have no idea if it's going to be safe or not. And it doesn't have armor either. It's just like Red Frame Kai's Pressure, where it doesn't have armor, but it has like a very small yet compact range where it can be used self-defensively or offensively. The Jinx with the one punch. Oh, the Jinx 3. Or is it Jinx 3? No, that can't be. That's season. That's season 1. That's season 2. Season 2. Oh yeah, there's also the Alvaron. Yeah, the Alvaron can
I
stay in that
remember
game.
one, the Alvaron. I remember that one.
Oh, your voice sounds clearer now. That the Alvaron, I felt like there was no reason to. Its weapons were kind of bad in terms of like tracking, but the only thing you could do was pretty much stall. Stall as much time as you have until you get the Alvatore. Alvatore. Now, Jinx 3 is in Maxi and sucks dick. The GNX. Okay, yeah. There we go. Okay, so you done for the night, Denso?
I think I'm good to go. I think today was actually a. I think today was a. Oh yes, the E for each night is in Gundam versus. I actually did like playing E for each. Partially because the guy kind of looks like me, but hey, at this point.
Or maybe it actually was you.
That was actually pretty fun. E for each night actually was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, put a little bit of it every now and then. But
I actually did. Actually, now that you mentioned it, yeah, I actually did like the Schneider guy.
I also kind of like the Pixie too. But once people figured out its relatively simple game plan, it just got shut out relentlessly.
Yeah, it did.
But I feel like if you put them over like 1-to-1 in EXVS2, just like Pale Rider, they're gonna flourish. Maybe Pixie could get some assists here and there. Maybe Free Chennai could get some assists here and there. But all in all, they would probably fare better in EXVS2 since it's a lot more grounded. Like, Pale Rider's doing pretty fine. I'm pretty sure it's not getting a whole lot of playing time compared to the other much more faster and resilient suits, but it's still holding itself pretty well.
Gundam Versus wasn't all that bad. Just the Dive and Striker. I mean, Dive was perfect. Was implemented properly. It's just that people like it. The Striker system was really the. I think for me the biggest issue was the Striker system.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fact that a lot of the worst assists were just were too easily abusable. The whole thing with Kamaris is really, really dumb.
Kshatriya girls everywhere. Yep. Like, I don't think there was one person that did not use Kshatriya's Gyros more than the suit itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because the beam was big. It didn't matter if it didn't do a whole lot of damage compared to the more focused ones, but it was just enough in order to just turn everything on its head. And if you're using a melee suit, that's pretty much free pressure. They removed Gabera for no reason. Funny you say that, because I'm pretty sure there's suits that probably would have played a much better role in shutting people out, but because of how aggressive GVS got, having something like Gerbera would have been a godsend, but it probably would have been nerfed to some degree as well. So, take what you will.
Yeah, I don't. It's too bad. If they would have had Gerbera, etc., I would have definitely used it in the game. Then they
Yeah.
also the fact. I mean, and now that I think about it, it probably was for the better that Alec, because the low cost suits in that game were horrible.
Mm-hmm. Now that I think of,
About that.
yeah, we could probably save it for like the GVS retrospective or something. Just an episode dedicated to that. I might have like a Seiji on that. So,
All right, so we'll see you guys next week then for
the Exia.
Exia. I'm already looking forward to it.
Yeah, you can probably reach out to Ace if I don't get a chance
Let's
to.
do that.
Yep.
Take it easy, fellas.
Take it easy. I'll have the Super Monkey Likes Daddy as the end theme, so let's get with the debriefing. Well, I did enjoy the game for what it was, but as time went on, I just got a little bit disillusioned with how everything kind of played out in GVS. But there's one thing that I want to kind of touch on during the GVS retrospective. In particular, it was a recent conversation that I had with someone that preferred GVS over Max Busan, but then again, he's a relatively new player. So I guess getting some more insight from other people would be a much better way to kind of spread the idea thin and see what kind of things could be properly discussed. Because maybe there might have been something I said that, yeah, we'll just save it for later. So, until then, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you all had a wonderful time with the stream. So I haven't been streaming as much. I haven't really been too much of a proactive mood. Why am I suffering through the 9 iron of us too? Because it's a sub goal. I have to see it through the end, as much as it pains me and everybody else that's watching. But I guess everybody's enjoying the playthrough so far, so... Man, Japan definitely does not take anything as a joke when it comes to their famous characters. I think they're hailed in higher regards than their celebrities, if anything else. That's why there's a Patlabor in Japan. There's Votoms. There's Lum. There's Astro Boy, or Adam as he's known as in Japan. But yeah, there's a lot of things I really want to see in Japan when I do get the chance. But yeah, I'll catch y'all later. If you excuse me, I don't know if the VTuber girls are still streaming. Ah. Wait, see this? Oh yeah, I saw that video. People calling giant robots Transformers. It never ends. It never ends. So, peace. I'll probably be on PS2 anyway.